Robert Jenrick has today confirmed how unsuitable for office he really is. In his latest grift to try for leader and win over some far-right votes, he'd been hitting the airwaves and the Twitter sphere trying to claim that he would prejudge a live criminal trial. At the start of the summer, riots broke out across the country after the brutal murder of 3 children from Southport. The murderer was caught and the minimum information was given about him, so when he's brought to trial, justice can be served. If the police and the Crown Prosecution Service have released everything to the public of what they knew, not only could have this sparked more riots, but it could also have prejudged the live case when it came to trial. The jury would have already prejudged the murderer with everything that was in the public domain, resulting in an unfair trial and him getting off on a technicality. It's really not that difficult to understand. Yet the far right have been looking for some way to justify the riots, and all the people that got sent to prison for inciting violence and wanting buildings to be burnt with women and children inside, claiming they were just hurty words. As more information has come out at the trial of this murderer, now they're claiming that the public had a right to know. No, they didn't, unless they wanted to see him walk free. Robert Jenrick has jumped on this bandwagon thinking that he's going to get himself some more votes for his leadership campaign, but in doing so he's just highlighting how unsuitable he is for any kind of office. If he, as a statesman, is prepared to allow murderers to walk free just because it might be in the public interest to know if they had any terrorist links, then he shouldn't be anywhere near the levers of power. So here he is trying to defend his awful position in order to get a couple more votes for a job he's probably going to be in for a year, 2 years at most. It's quite sickening, really.
Should that could jeopardise the Prime Minister held a press conference in Downing Street directly addressing this atrocity.
Yes.
Merseyside Police said that they would keep the public informed about this. Why have they waited? Why has the Prime Minister waited months to be honest with the public about what may have happened here?
Well, because
a terrorist incident,
it's not the Prime Minister, it's the police.
Terrorism isn't any normal crime. This is a crime on all of us. It's an attack on our society. People deserve to be told the facts here. And if they're not...
But is that more important than the legal process?
I think the legal process is absolutely paramount.
Paramount.
But so is it important to keep the public informed.
But the police are clearly judging that they have to handle this in a way which does not...
All the time, the police give information to keep the public updated. In this particular case, the police have chosen not to do so.
Well,
and the Prime Minister
would argue that that's because they...
what he knew and when.
Well, they would argue that that's because they have to be in a position to judge a case in order to prevent speculation occurring that might then lead to accusations of not a fair trial, which could jeopardise it. And if the Prime Minister were to intervene, isn't that...
Well, the Prime Minister held a press conference in Downing Street in which he addressed this case. The Home Secretary in the House of Commons said that we should not speculate, we shouldn't deal in misinformation. Months have since passed, and now we learn that this...
On the case it comes to trial.
That the suspect
from the police
was alleged to have al-Qaeda manuals and writings at his disposal. Are you saying
that if you were the Prime Minister, you would, contrary to police advice...
Well, we don't know that, do we, Ed? No, we don't know what the advice of the
but are you
police
saying,
was.
no, but if you judge...
I'm asking the question,
if you judge the public needed to know, you would tell the public things, even if the police and the Crown Prosecution Service said that would risk contempt of court and a fair trial.
I'm asking the question, Ed, what did the Prime Minister know and when?
Well, how does he say that?
Why did he choose not to say it? What's at stake here? The risk
what's at stake here is a fair trial and justice for the victim.
The risk here is a massive loss in public trust in the police and our criminal justice system, because many people across our country are watching this programme this morning and are thinking that they have been deliberately concealed.
Well, you are
telling them that. You're telling them that.
And what I don't want our country to become is one like some others around the world, like Germany, for example, where the authorities and the press deliberately conceal information on serious crimes,
but you're the ones
suggesting
that that's happening, whereas they're saying it's a legal process.
Out of fear of community tensions.
But you said the legal process is
lying
paramount
to its own citizens.
So if you're Prime Minister, the legal process is paramount. If the police and the Crown Prosecution Service say, we will not make this public at this stage because it would risk contempt of court, would you say to the legal officers, no, the need to inform the public, in my judgment, is more important, and therefore you would take the decision-making on the release of information from the police and the Crown Prosecution Service and take that into your own hands in a press conference? Is that what you're saying?
No, but I want to know...
It sounds like...
I want to know when the Prime Minister knew. We don't know that information. We don't know what the advice of the police was in this case, and we don't know why the police has chosen not to say this. The effect of this has been that there has been speculation over the summer. There has been a loss of trust in the police and the criminal justice process, and I think that's wrong. The state shouldn't be lying to its own citizens.
Of course
we
not.
should be being clear about what has actually happened in serious
Are you
crime.
saying that the state has lied to its own citizens?
Well, we don't know. We don't know the reason, Ed, we don't know the reason why this information has been concealed.
I think it's safe to say that the Conservatives are going to be out of power for a long time, because on one hand, you've got Robert Jenrick here trying to defend the indefensible, and on the other hand, you've got the other candidate, which is Kemi Badenoch, getting very tetchy when she's asked questions about what she's actually said. And you can see that on the video that's on screen now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.